Shower remodeling mistakes for a DIYer happen all the time. I can tell you this because we hear the calls after the fact and sometimes after the problems have occurred. So in this video today, we're going to talk about the most common mistakes that we don't want you to repeat, so you'll have a little more information up front and can save some money on your project. A big mistake that DIYers make, especially those that were thinking about a tile shower pan, is they'll do like an old-fashioned what's called mud set base, which is really a mortared base. And while that base is cheap, and I mean this both in a positive and negative way, it's less expensive. The problem is it's very difficult to waterproof a pan like that, and even pros make mistakes. And if you make a mistake with a shower pan and it leaks in the floor below, you've got big problems. So what can you do to not make a mistake with like an old school tile shower pan that also looks very stylish and will hold up? There's three different options I'd like to introduce you to. One is a stone shower pan. This is literally a solid pour. It's 1 1/6 inch. It's a low profile pan. It's got 2 tons of weight capacity. That's 4,000 pounds. So if you had if you were hosting people from the 600-pound life, you could probably get as many of them as you can fit in here, and you still wouldn't have to worry about this pan breaking. And it also is all pitched to the drain, and it's got kind of a texture on it, so it makes it safe. Another option I want to take you over here is if you do want to stay with a tile pan, this is something called a ready for tile pan. This is what it looks like before it's tiled over. It's made of a material called expanded polystyrene, and you thin set and tile over this. When you're done, you'll actually get a pan that would look like this. Now, this one has a ramp. This small sample here had a step over curb type of entry. Your wall panel, whether it's wall panels or tile, would go inside of this flange to make sure that if any water got behind it, it didn't get under the base, which would be a big problem and cause leaking, and everything's going to be pre-pitched. Now, in addition to that, a third type of pan to consider is called a contemporary reinforced acrylic pan. So when a lot of people see a pan, and this is just a small sample of it, an acrylic pan, they'll see this white kind of glossy surface at the top, and they'll think fiberglass, acrylic, it's all the same, where it actually is not. A fiberglass pan, it will have more tendency to yellow over time. An acrylic pan will not, and it's also warm to the touch. But what's neat about this one, and show you an image of it, but this one actually has a layer of what's called MDF, multi-density fiberboard, between the acrylic top layer and a substructure underneath it. The reason that matters is when you step on this one, unlike an inexpensive acrylic pan, it won't have that flex in there. So this is a good option, the third good option really for alternate for a mud set tile shower pan. Another mistake that people make, especially DIYers, is they don't think through how they're going to turn the water on. So in a situation like this, like right now we have what are called bypass doors. What bypass mean is both doors buy, both doors move. Some people might get, let's say, a slider where only one side open. Well, in this case, if only one side open, the challenge I would have is if I wanted to turn the water on, is I'd have to have either a really long arm, maybe as long as Michelle, who's shooting this right now, which would be very difficult, or I could be smarter and get what's called a bypass door. With a bypass door, even if there was a toilet here, I could be opening that door and I could be leaning over, turning the water on, shutting the door, and then as it's warming up, I can be getting in here, so I'm not getting in right underneath the shower head. This is the number one reason bypass is by far the number one type of door we sell. However, you may say, hey, I'd like to have a walk-in shower and I'm not going to have a door at all. Well, how do I think through where the plumbing should go? Well, with a walk-in shower, like you're going to see over here with this prefabricated glass block shower, problem is it's a longer shower. The shower head's on the other end. So if my valve, which is there, which is the smart placement, was in there, I would be struggling to turn this on. I'd be trying to push that head to the side. It's kind of a pain in the back end. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. However, if you put your valve here, You can turn that on. You're not getting cold. It's a much better way and mistake that you don't have to repeat that a lot of people have. Another mistake that people make is they seem to forget they had a tile shower before, they had moldy grout joints, and they do it to themselves again. They go again and put a tile shower. And when you put a tile shower up initially, it looks fantastic. The problem is the initially isn't the same as the eventually, right? Over time, those joints get dark and moldy, and you've got to clean them, or you got to hire somebody to clean them, or find a family member that you're going to elect to clean them. All of those is kind of a pain in the rear. So how can you get over that, but yet get something that's a quality look? Because maybe you don't want some cheap acrylic stamped out of a mold type of wall panel system you'd find at Lowe's or Home Depot. Well, a way to do that is with what are called laminate wall panels. These, to me, are some of the most realistic wall panels in the industry, and they actually click and lock together. So what you can't tell is this vertical tile is actually one panel. And then over here, this is actually a separate panel, and it actually has grooves in it, and it has molding. So when most people look at this, they think this is a real tile shower, but it's not. It takes much less time to build, and it's super, super easy to maintain. So don't repeat that tile shower mistake again, especially if you're the one doing the cleaning. Every woman knows when you buy the dress, you got to have the handbag, you got to have the jewelry. Us as guys, we might not think about these things, but accessorizing an outfit or accessorizing a shower, same thing. You do need to be thoughtful of everything that really makes it work together. So in the case of a shower, we're not going to need any high heels or anything like that, but we will need things like maybe a seat. So I know in mine, my wife likes a seat for shaving her legs, which can be wonderful, or seats can be great. Maybe you've got a family member that's got some mobility challenges and they really need to actually shower in a seated position. What's nice about a fold down seat versus a bench seat, not a big fan of bench seats, is let's say a wife's using it, sitting down. I'm showering, I don't need it. I'm not shaving my legs yet. So I can fold that thing up, which is kind of good. Another fantastic accessory can be a grab bar. Now this one here can be also used as a towel bar. It's decorative. It does not look like a truck stop grab bar or what you're going to see in a hospital room. Another thing can be recessed niches. You're seeing more and more of these, whether it's in tile showers or this is a grout-free shower, but to have more space can be wonderful for your soap, shampoos, loofahs, whatever that is. And another accessory, this one I think is kind of cool, but if you have somebody that wants to actually shower seated, what's neat about this one is you've got a little bit of a unit here. You could be literally down the shower. That can go right there. And then, this can be either put over here or it can be put up there, which is kind of neat. So don't just look at the shower as a bit, shower pan, walls, and a glass door. Look at it in totality. What all do I need? Another problem that people can run into with a DIY remodel is kind of really knowing when to stop and say, I need to get an expert in here. So if you're in the Northeast Ohio area, I kind of know somebody you could call. Oh, it's the sign for Innovate Building Solutions. That's us. Oh, that is a bad plug, but I'm going to leave it in there. But seriously, if you are in Northeast Ohio, we'd love to help you. You can call Innovate at 877-668-5888, and we'd be glad to come out and, whatever portion of the project you need to have done, take a look at that for you. However, if you're outside of Northeast Ohio, we have a dealer network, and these dealers are usually bathroom remodeling contractors, general contractors, design build contractors who can assist you with the project. So we thank you very much for watching the video today, and sorry about the shameless plug. I couldn't help myself, but we're looking forward to assisting you.